Good morning, friends. Today we'll be analyzing our paper number 8, that is indirect tax laws. Now this is paper 8 of CA final examination. 100 marks paper it is. And goods and services tax. It is 75 marks, covering the CGST Act 2017 as well as the IGST Act 2017 and customs and foreign trade policy. Customs and foreign trade policy, it is of 25 marks. Customs and foreign trade policy, that is 25 marks, portion is there. Now here we will be discussing the Customs Act, relevant portions of the Customs Act, 1962, the Customs Tariff Act 1975, the Customs Tariff Act 1975. Besides this, the foreign trade policy, we will be discussing the same. Now here, as you are aware of the fact that 30 marks is the multiple choice questions. 30 marks is multiple choice questions. And 70 marks is our subjective paper. Now, this is a very, say, scoring paper. You can easily score exemption marks. You must have a command over the practical questions. Theoretically, we can do it. But basic thing is, you must have a command over the practical aspects. So, we can score good marks here in this particular subject. And it is always giving exemption marks, paper 8, that is the indirect tax laws. And for certain students, they get easily the benefit of this exemption, and they can pass the examination with the flying colors. Now, first of all, we'll be analyzing what the institute is doing, how they will be designing the paper. So basically, as you are aware of the fact that 30 marks question is multiple choice questions, which is covering goods and services tax, customs and the foreign trade policy. Now, we'll be discussing about, first of all, about the paper pattern, and then we'll be giving you the detailed analysis of the subject. So here, 30 marks is the multiple choice questions, as you are aware of the fact. So, if you are having in-depth knowledge about the subject, then we can easily score this in this multiple choice questions also. Very good marks here. So, thing is, we have designed one portal. There is we have 2000 multiple choice questions are there. These are all practice questions, and 100 marks, 100 questions are there. Basically, it's practice questions, and we have given all the solved answers for those multiple choice questions, not only just hint answers. What is the basic reasoning behind those answers which have been provided, that has been given in our complete detailed solution. Reasoning has been provided there. So it is available where at our website www.bangersedu.com. So basically, chapter-wise division has been made by us, and 100 questions are there, which you can attempt very easily. And even in case you do not have a time to attempt the same, then you can directly submit the paper also and view what was the question and what is the answer and what is the reasoning behind those answers. Everything has been provided, and this is covering, say, 2000 multiple choice questions, which are likely to be asked in the examination. So, a separate portal has been designed for the same. And as you are aware, 2000 multiple choice questions with the reasoning, comprehensive questions are also there. So, what our intention behind that introduction of this, separate portal for the same, and that is the basic reasoning is that whenever a student complete a particular chapter, then he can go and attempt those multiple choice questions. So he is having an entire and knowledge and clear knowledge about the particular chapter which he has studied. So this helps in revision also. Its basic purpose is that student's concepts are clear and he can revise the same. So that chapter which he has read. So fundamentally for that purpose we have designed these 2000 multiple choice questions. Chapter wise the same has been designed. And two papers are there of 100 marks each, which is covering the entire chapter, comprehensive, entire subject basically. Comprehensive papers are also being framed. So this is very, very important that you do these multiple choice questions, as you are aware the fact that 30% weight, very, very important weight out of 100, 30 marks is of multiple choice questions. So you can score good marks here by attempting these 2000 multiple choice questions, which have been separately designed by us in our portal www.bangarsedu.com, and it is very low price. 500 rupees is the price for the same, which you can pay very easily and get all those multiple choice questions were likely to be asked in the forthcoming examinations. Now we come to the paper analysis about the 70 marks portion. 70 marks portion. Now it is covering, say, it is section B or part B, part 2 या section 2, क्योंकि section 1 या part 1, basically it is what? The multiple choice questions. Now here there are 14 questions. Here in question number 1 is compulsory. It is a compulsory question, question number 1. It is of 14 marks. Normally, it's a comprehensive question. Practical question is there. Comprehensive practical question is there, and it is covering all the aspects of goods and services tax. It's covering all the aspects of what? Goods and services tax. So question number 1 is compulsory. And then we have to attempt, say, one choice is there. Question number 1 is compulsory. Then from question number 2 to question number 6, question number 2 to question number 6, basically. Out of this, we have to attempt 4 questions out of 5 questions. Now, these are also what? 14 marks questions are there. Each question carries 14 marks. And 9 marks is for goods and services tax, and 5 marks is of what? The customs, and it may also cover, say, foreign trade policy. Now let us see one paper which has been asked in November 2019 exam. So you get a clear understanding about this particular, how the paper is, say, designed. Now this is a paper which has been asked for November 2019 examination, new syllabus as well as old syllabus. Now paper is same for both old and new syllabus. Now as you are aware of the fact that we told you that it consists of 2 parts. Part 1 comprises of the multiple choice questions. They are saying that part 1 comprises of multiple choice questions and 30 marks MCQs are there. And this is the comprehensive subjective paper, 70 marks, which we'll be discussing. So here part 2 is there. What the part 2 says is, it's of 70 marks portion, as I have already told you. Part 2 question paper comprises of what? 6 questions. In part 2 it comprises of 6 questions. Answer question number 1. Question number 1, which is compulsory. As I already told you, question number 1 is compulsory, and it is, say, comprehensive question covering goods and services tax, various aspects. And any 4 questions are to be attempted out of the remaining 5 questions. Now what they say is working notes form part of your answer. You are aware of the fact that working notes are very, very important. If in case 14 marks question has been there, and round about 7 marks is for working notes. 50% is for the working notes, and 50% is for your computational aspects. So that has been provided here, that working notes should form part of your answer. They have given in the instructions itself. Now let us see how the paper was designed in November 2019. Question number 1, as you are aware, this is a compulsory question. This is a compulsory question, and it is covering goods and services tax, comprehensive coverage is there. It may cover time of supply, it is covering place of supply, it may be covering exemptions, it may be covering what? Valuation aspects, and most important is the input tax credit aspects. So each and every aspect is covered here in this comprehensive question. It doesn't mean that always it will be 14 marks, it can be 9 plus 5 also, but it is from goods and services tax. So this is a comprehensive question which has been asked in November 2019 examination, question number 1, covering each and every aspect about the payment of tax, computation of the GST liability. Then, as you are aware, this is a fully practical question. We will be analyzing that also. This is a fully practical question. You can score full marks here if your all the answers, to the various points are correct and your liability is correct. Then you can get easily full marks here, provided you write proper working notes for the same. Then question number 2A, this part A, this is 9 marks. This is what about the goods and services tax. This is also one practical question. This is a practical question of 9 marks. As you are aware of the fact, this is 9 marks. So question number 2 ka clause, say part A is what? Of 9 marks. And this is also one question which is covering about determination of the value of the taxable supply. Exemptions have been there, and you are required to determine what is the value of taxable supply. Then this is one question which has been from customs. This is from customs. This is 5 marks question is there from from customs, and this is also a practical question. This is a practical question, and normally this question comes from computation of the assessable value and duty liability. So this is valuation customs is a very, very important topic where you have to focus, because 5 marks definitely come from that particular, that topic. Then again, this is again a 5 marks question is there of the GST, and this is dealing with the practical aspects of the composition scheme. So this is also a practical question about the composition scheme, whether the person is eligible to opt for the composition scheme or not. So that has been there for 5 marks. Then again, this is also about the valuation, how you value the goods for the purpose of GST. So that is 4 marks. So now they have divided 5 marks plus 4 marks, 9 marks for the goods and services tax portion. And this is a 5 marks, that is about the this customs. This is also customs, and that is about the anti-dumping duty. If you have knowledge about that particular, whether anti-dumping duty is to be levied or say safeguard duty is to be levied, that has been from classification. They can also ask you practical question also. Here it has been a theoretical question. So this is of customs. Then we come to the next question. Again, it is a practical question. And this is 5 marks practical question that has been dealing with the refund aspects under GST law. That is very important topic. In case of zero rated supplies, how we get a refund. So that has been asked for here in this particular paper. It has been asked for 5 marks. Then 4 marks is about the theoretical question is there of dealing with the cancellation of registration. And then again 5 marks, as you are aware, it is valuation of goods. That was dealing with the re-importation aspect and calculation of custom duty. This is pure question relating to what? Valuation of goods for the purpose of computing the custom duty. So this is 5 marks practical question in customs. Then this is one question which is there. Here they are also, it's a practical question asking for determination of tax, interest and penalty under GST law. That is 5 marks portion is there. Then here one, practical case study type question is there. Dealing with what? Whether the offenses can be compounded or not. That is covering from the offenses and prosecution aspect. Then this one practical question is there of customs. So you know that 9, 5 and 4. This is baggage, computation of duty liability in case of baggage. Now here, this is 6, question number 6. Basically it is, you can leave the same if you know all the questions above, because it's one choice is there. Now here, this is a theoretical question of 4 marks. Now 5 marks question is there with one internal choice also there. This is also a theoretical question. And this is about what? Duty drawback in customs. This time foreign trade policy is not asked, it may be asked, it would have been asked in the multiple choice questions, but you are aware of the fact that in that also, in foreign trade policy also, we have to focus on what? The practical aspects of those, so that we can attempt the illustrations of those export promotion schemes. So MEIS, SEIS, EPCG, advance authorization and duty-free import authorization. This was a paper which has been designed in November 2019 examination. So you are aware of the fact that it is 70 marks is the subjective paper. Question number 1 there is compulsory, covering 14 marks. That can be a comprehensive question containing the computation of the GST liability, and then 9-5-9-5 combination is there. We have to attempt 4 questions out of what? The 5 questions. So one choice is there and one internal choice has also been provided. This was about the subject. Now we come to what? How they have devised the, how much portion, what weightage has been assigned. That has also been provided by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Now the thing is here, as you are aware, this is, paper number 8, indirect tax laws, 100 marks paper is there. Goods and services tax, that is covering 75%, and 25% is of customs and foreign trade policy. Now, in goods and services tax, the fundamentally 45 to 65% weightage has been assigned. 45 to 65% weightage has been assigned for the very, very important topics. First of all, that is about the charging section. Charging section under goods and services tax. That is section 9. That has been there. Then, the scope of supply, that is section 7. So these are what the very, very important topics, and they are to be by heart. They are to be learned basically by heart. That is, you must have an understanding of the subject. It is to be learned by heart. Then only we will be able to attempt the questions, practical questions, which are covering the this approach. So say 14 marks question was there, that was covering this aspect only, basically levy and collection of CGST and IGST. Then the application of the CGST and IGST law. Section 7, as I was telling, was scope of supply. The concept of supply, including what? The composite supplies and mixed supplies, that has been covered in section 8 of the, CGST Act. Then interstate supply, this is the portion of the IGST Act, supplies in the territorial waters, charge of tax, including say reverse charge is very, very important topic, then exemptions from tax and compulsion levy. So these basically are the practical questions come from. These are the topics from where these various practical questions will come from. And they are covered in say our first 10 chapters of the GST book. Up to what? The input tax credit. These are all the practical questions you can attempt. Say, well, then say this is a concept of place of supply, time and value of supply. They are very, very important topic, value of supply, then input tax credit. When you are aware of all these topics, then only you will be able to what? Calculate the GST liability, you will be able to compute the GST liability. So when we discuss about the indirect tax laws, the first 10 chapters up to input tax credit, they are very, very important chapters. So you are aware that say up to 65% weight out of 75 marks means what? Round about say 50 marks, say 45 to 50 marks is from these topics. So say 50 marks out of say 100 marks portion in entire syllabus, then you know this is from these very important topics. So you must be having a complete knowledge about these topics. Basically, the thing is that you know you have to practice all the practical questions which we have given in these 10 chapters along with the compiler. So you have to read all those and practice the questions by hand. That is the main aspect. So that is the basic thing which you must remember, that you have to write the working notes also, try and say attempt the questions by hand, and assume that you are appearing the exam while say practicing those questions. Write proper working notes at a time also and make a separate register, and then you practice these questions. So this is a very, very important aspect. You must keep the same in mind. So up to the computation of GST liability, we have seen that it is ITC, very, very important chapter is there. Valuation of goods for the purpose of computing the GST liability, valuation of services, then time of supply, place of supply, composition scheme, and you know the scope of supply and the charging section, including reverse charge mechanism. Everything is asked in this comprehensive, including the exemptions. So this is very, very important. If you are having a command over those 10 chapters, then you can easily score, say, good marks in all the practical aspects. Then the second one, about 10 to 30% weightage has been assigned to the procedural compliances under GST, out of which registration is very important. You know, they ask questions, they frame practical questions from registration also. Then we have tax invoice, credit notes and debit notes. This is also a very, very important topic. Electronic waybill, when we are required to issue electronic waybill, that is practical questions are asked whether the consignment value exceeds 50,000 rupees or not. Then regarding the tax deduction of source and tax collection at source, TDS and TCS, they are also important, and practical questions are asked from TDS and TCS also. Refund and job work provisions, they are also very, very important topic. So, you know, here also don't think this is theoretical only. Here also practical questions are asked. In job work also practical questions are asked. Refund we have just seen in respect of the zero rated supplies, they are asking for the refund. You have to calculate the, you know, amount of refund. So that is also important. So you remember all the thing is, if you do the practical question and the same type of question comes in exam, then you can easily score, say, good marks. And about the theoretical aspects also, try to write the answers in point-wise answers are given, then you can get good marks there also in theory. And you must know that you don't have to write abrupt answers. What is up to the point, though your answer may not be long, but what is up to the point, what has been given in the law, that is to be say reproduced. Not actually you cannot reproduce section-wise reproduction, they don't require, but you must have an understanding over the law and have a command over your language. Then there's one topic about the liability to pay in certain cases. This is a theoretical topic. So around about 10 to 30% weightage has been assigned to the procedural compliance. The first aspect of relating to the registration, e-waybill, TDS, TCS, refund and job work. They are what? The important provisions there. Then this topic is also very important, demands and recovery. You know, practical questions are asked about the issuance of show cause notices. Case studies have been framed there, whether notices which have been issued for recovery of the tax, whether they are barred by limitation or not. Then they are asking for the quantum of the penalties for various offenses, as well as what imprisonment provisions are there. So that has also been asked. This is also covering 10 to 25% weightage. Advanced ruling and appeals and revision, you must know limitation, and to the authority where we have to file the appeal, pre-deposit aspects, that is also very important there. So this is covering, say, 10 to 25%. Then about the introduction aspects are there. That is introduction to GST. What are the constitutional aspects? Administration of GST, assessment and audit, inspection, search, seizure and arrest, and other provisions. That is 5 to 10% weightage. This is but natural, this is theoretical in nature. So fundamentally, when we analyze the paper, that percentage weight has been assigned. So you must be aware of the fact that in the entire book, wherever you see any practical questions, attempt those, understand those, do by hand, whether in the book, whether in the compiler, because compiler is covering what? The past exam questions. So GST is very, very important. And when you have knowledge about the subject, then only you will be able to attempt the multiple choice questions. So have a clear understanding of the same. Then as you are aware that customs and foreign trade policy, this is of what? 25 marks, and they have substantially reduced the portion of customs. They have substantially reduced the portion of customs. Now, if we do analysis of the same, you know, 40 to 65% is from what the weightage has been given to the levy and exemptions from custom duty, you know, all the provisions including application of the customs law, taxable event, charge of custom duty, what are the exceptions to the levy and exemptions. So they ask, normally they ask questions from the charging section, that is 12, read with section 15, how you determine the rate of duty and tariff valuation in case of imported goods. Section 16, that is date for determination of rate of duty and tariff valuation in case of export goods. They can ask about the provisional assessment, how you calculate what the interest liability in case of, say, provisional assessment. Now, types of duties is a very, very important topic in the Customs Tariff Act 1975, and they ask practical questions about the levy of the anti-dumping duty. They ask about the safeguard duty, so various types of duties which are to be levied along with section 3(7) of the Customs Tariff Act dealing with the integrated tax on importation of the goods, and 3(9) about the GST compensation cess of the Customs Tariff Act. So types of duties, when you know the same, then only you will be able to calculate the duties. Then classification of the imported goods and export goods, for which we have harmonized system of nomenclature is there. They may ask about the rules for interpretation of tariff. And valuation. This is the most important topic, valuation of imported goods and export goods. So you have to practice. It's 100% sure that one question is asked from this. Around 5 marks question is there of valuation, as you are aware. Then you know, out of 25, 5 marks question is about the valuation. Then the second aspect, that is what 20 to 45% weightage. The same has been assigned to import and export procedures and baggage. About baggage, as we have seen, they ask what? The practical question about baggage and goods imported or exported by post and stores. Duty drawback, one practical question is asked from duty drawback also. These are the practical questions where you can score, say, good marks. And refund. Here also they can ask about the calculation of interest on refunds as per the provisions of section 27A of the Customs Act. Then basically export promotion schemes are there in the foreign trade policy. These export promotion schemes, you have to remember those schemes. You have to understand those schemes. That is EPCG, Export Promotion Capital Goods Scheme, Advance Authorization Scheme, Duty-Free Import Authorization Scheme, SEIS, Service Exports from India Scheme, and MEA Scheme. So these schemes are very, very important. And if you remember these schemes and you know, you do the practical questions here, then in case of an exam, 5 marks question comes about the calculation of the entitlements, then you can easily score marks here also. And then, you know, about 10 to 20% weightage has been assigned toward the introduction of the customs, as well as what the introduction aspects of the goods and this foreign trade policy. And basically this is a theoretical portion, and round about 5 marks, maximum 5 marks is there. So about the foreign trade policy, it's very lengthy. So basic thing is you do what? All those export promotion schemes. You do the practical questions about the export promotion scheme, understand those schemes, and do the practical aspects. Otherwise, if you want to cover the entire foreign trade policy, it won't be helpful. So you do what? The foreign trade policy, these export promotion schemes are to be done. So basically the thing is what? This is a very, very, say, scoring subject, and our focus must be on what? The illustrations, whatever illustrations have been given in the book, whatever past examination questions are there, every revisionary test paper, mock test paper, past examination questions, they are covered when we go with our book as well as the compiler. Each and every aspect which has been covered by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, that has been given, and it has been given at the relevant places. Not say, if this is a question relating to valuation, the same will be found, we will be getting in the valuation chapter. If it's a question relating to input tax credit, you will be finding the same in the input tax credit chapter. So that beside this, you must be having the knowledge about the amendments which have been made, because you know GST is continuously there are amendments going on. So you must be having a complete knowledge about the latest amendments, because questions are asked in examination about the latest amendments. So basic thing is that first of all we'll be starting with the goods and services tax portion, that is 75 marks portion, and you know, which will be covering CGST Act and IGST Act. Then we'll be going for the customs and the foreign trade policy, which is covering say 25 marks. And about the MCQs, our approach will be what? Whenever we'll be completing the chapter, you practice those multiple choice questions which have been given in our portal. That is, whenever you will be seeing that we have these questions, whenever you do the questions, your entire chapter will get revised. These questions have been devised in such a manner, and you will be needing the calculator also, and you will be needing a notebook also, so that you will be able to what? You know, solve those multiple choice questions. And when you do those 2000 questions, definitely you won't be getting any difficulty in the examination to solve the MCQs. So this was about what? The subject introduction. Now we'll be starting with the goods and services tax law.